It's an interesting time right now. I have had such a roller coaster of a 2020. Here it is, almost the end of, well, no, I mean, we're like midway, a little past midway through May. And it's been a really weird year so far. My roommate has been away for much of this time. We've got the coronavirus, the shelter in place. Trump is still in office. And yet, in some of these weird ways, I've been very lucky and I've been better equipped to deal with this garbage, or at least, in a better position than people who are able, who are employed, who don't have PTSD. It's really bizarre that I am in this state. And I'm feeling really lucky right now because I'm finally in somebody else's house. All of my jobs for the last few months, which are what I really need just to squeak by, they all went away because of coronavirus, because I need people to travel in order to make any extra money. People sure aren't spending money on tarot readings either. So basically, all of my sources of little bitty bits of income went pfft. And yet, somehow I've been okay. Like, I got birthday money. I had one client who was kind enough to send me money. I had a couple other friends who just sent me money without me asking. In fact, I was telling people, no, no, I'm okay. And they were still sending me money. I finally got a job, which I am doing for way less than I would normally charge. And I'm actually okay with that. Um, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I mean, I just started it, but I'm in a wonderful house that's serene and peaceful with beautiful animals. And I miss not just the pet sitting, but I miss my own cat so much. And this morning I woke up and cuddled with a cat who purred, and I had cats hogging the bed, and it was just great. And there's this sweet dog, and there's this funny fish, and a beautiful garden that looks like it's like totally a lot of stuff in here is my taste. So it's bittersweet. It's like, oh, I remember when I had a home and I was starting to do these things that I really liked, and this reminds me, although it's much grander. But and it reminds me of what I'd want to do again, but I realize I won't have the means. So a lot of that is a thing. So it's frustrating because, of course, people who are able, people who have had jobs and things, people who are extroverts are really having a hard time with this whole shelter in place and with dealing with all the coronavirus stuff and everything. And yet I'm in a position where, well, gee, I'm used to being isolated. I'm used to being stuck at home between illness and PTSD and poverty. I'm used to just having to deal and cope with not having interaction. When's the last time I had a hug? I can pretty much tell you it was probably like maybe February, and I can remember which friend it was that hugged me. But I'm lucky if I get a hug every month. I usually don't. So I've got people screaming about not getting hugs and they're freaking out. So I just kind of am handling it better. I'm used to not having enough. Thank God I have food stamps. I've had just enough to pay my bills, the stuff that I'm not spending, like gas money and things like that, that I would normally spend. My car insurance is based on mileage, so I'm paying less. Like, and I've had help. So even though I can't get unemployment or any of that stuff, my disability check, I mean, thank God I had that. I didn't have to go through all that scrambling. My disability check is not a lot of money, but it covers my rent. So I didn't have those same types of panics. And also, the PTSD gives me this weird calm in emergency situations. I lock down, I take care of my basic needs, and I don't freak out. And so those kind of things were extremely helpful. Um, I am really grateful to have this job. It's like a bit of peace, but I've also got anxiety because there's stuff at home I hadn't dealt with yet. I don't know. I'm kind of going through some things are trickling down, and I'm kind of sifting through, and I'm kind of coming to some sense of resignation about some things and some acceptance. There are just things that aren't in my control, which is a lot of my problem. It's not that I'm a control freak. It's that I really have very little control over my life in general. I have very little control over the space that I live in. I could be kicked out tomorrow and have nowhere to go. I have very little control over what I'm able to wear or like getting new things, getting new underwear, whatever, because I have no money. Um, I can't go places when I want to. I can't, like there's just all these limits I'm used to. And now I'm really starting to think, you know, I'm gonna have to make some changes that I might not like, but I don't even know how to make them. And I don't want things to get worse. I want to figure out what the moves are to make things put me in a better situation, you know? Um, you know, I have this job right now, which is just reminding me of some of the good things I've lost, but also it's reminding me of good things like I love working with animals and I love working with their people. And it's such a good feeling of like they're happy, they can relax, they can feel safe, they know things are being taken care of. Their pets are loving the attention and their routine isn't screwed up. And there's all those good things. So it makes you feel really good because everybody loves you. Best job ever. And, even though I have had some clients that were really terrible, most of them have been just wonderful. And I had an experience where I went and saw a longtime client. I mean, we've had multiple cats, it's been years and years. And they introduced me to their new kitten, and I picked up some things that I had left at their house because I was anticipating they were going to go away in a few days. And they never did. So I went back and picked up my stuff, and we had a safe social distancing social thing. And when I'm talking to them, they're like me. They're really conscientious. I mean, I'm going to wear a mask way longer than other people stop wearing it until I know there's a vaccine that actually works or, there's a good herd immunity. I really am going to be very cautious about this. So they're like that. They're like me. And they were talking about their companies are switching them to working from home now. They have a place they can travel with their cats that's, a vacation home. So until they feel safe to go on a trip overseas or something, they're not going to go. So it could be a year or more before they go anywhere. And it's heartbreaking to me because I'm attached to them. They're not really my friends per se, but they sure have treated me well and they've been thoughtful. They have checked in on me consistently throughout the quarantine, which is more than I can say that I've done for other people. I've had a list of people I wanted to check into, just haven't gotten there. I've thought about them an awful lot, but they don't know that. So, I'm looking at this and I'm not like losing these people forever. I mean, they've even said I can come do laundry at their house because they're so awesome. But it's a thing of like, I think coronavirus, unless something dramatically shifts, is going to kill my means of extra money. There's a bazillion people on Instagram doing tarot now. I'm not going to pursue it as a business because I am disabled. I can't really maintain that. I'm not able to like walk a bunch of dogs. I can't really compete with these cheap businesses that are out now, the online or apps that are, for pet sitting. So I really rely on word of mouth and longtime clients to just make that little extra so I can get through the month. And I think that's just going to be dead because of coronavirus. I mean, it really stomped on me when the economy tanked. Thank you, George W. And this, I think, might be the final nail in the coffin. So I'm looking at, do I have to move away? And I'm looking and looking at all the places I can stand to live, like that would have, the kind of environment that soothes my soil, the kind of environment that soothes my soul, that makes me inspired. Like I need to be around the water and trees. I really do. But also has an environment like, isn't too hot. Has things that are intellectually stimulating. Or a good friend support system and a good medical and therapy, setup. where do I find that I can afford on disability? Nobody's going to help me. So, um, let alone my dreams of going to Scotland or whatever. I mean, it's just, how do I deal with this? I don't know. What move do I make? And I keep looking at ideas and I keep doing research, and I just feel like the writings, because like this is a place I live and I have my foot here now. So like I know if I go somewhere else, it'll be really hard to get pet sitting jobs. I have some clients here, even though there aren't very many of them. So I know I can look forward to that. I have a reputation here. I have friends here. I have medical here. I love the environment. So it's really hard, and I'm terrified of like moving back home because it's the opposite of all those things that make me want to live. So, if I don't want my progression to get worse, and then on top of it, I mean, there's several things. Like my roommate is making noises again that make it sound like he wants to leave, and he has been gone for a long time. So I don't blame him. I really don't. I totally get it that he might want to move to LA, but it's like, what am I going to do? I don't have any plans. So it's kind of clear to him that, like, I'm not going to be in a position where I could do much of anything for a few months at least. And I don't know if that'll quash it or not. But it's certainly if like there's things I need to get organized. I need to get them out of the apartment and back to storage so that he feels a little less congested when he's home, and also so it will be easier for me if I have to move. I'm trying to work on those things, and I want to get it done and get it looking nice for him by the time he comes home next, which I think I know when it is, but I might be wrong. So that's kind of scary. And I'm just trying not to have anxiety about it. I'm also, I'm just so worried about my health. I feel like it's going to be a long time before I can get back on track, going to specialists and doing physical therapy, doing all the stuff I'm supposed to be doing. And meantime, I don't have all the medications I need. I am not able to exercise. I feel like crap a lot of the time. And I hurt myself, and I'm really lucky. In fact, I had a chair slide out from under me here the other night, and I wasn't very high off the ground. And somehow, when I slipped back, instead of landing on my butt, I landed flat on my back, and it really hurt. But because of the way I landed, I didn't really hurt my spine at all. I didn't tear any muscles, I didn't twist. If I had landed on my tailbone on my butt, that area is already injured. I've got my spine is just a mess down there. I would have been in big trouble. But I'm really stiff and I'm really sore and miserable, but I'm going to be okay. So probably in 2 days, I'll probably be just feeling my normal level of crap. So I don't know. It's really it's really just a mix. And I'm afraid anytime something like this neat job comes through, which even though they're paying a lot less than what I would charge somebody normally for coming this far, they pay me a really good amount, and I'm totally fine with it. And it's a wonderful place. I mean, I would seriously, if I didn't have money problems, I would do it for free. They're lovely people. They have lovely animals. I feel like I'm on vacation at their house almost. I'm working and there's, stuff I'm doing. So it's not totally a vacation, but it's really nice. And they've gone out of their way to make it really nice for me. And I am so grateful. So I don't know. It's just a whole mixed bag. But as I'm feeling these things kind of filter down, like, you've been hanging on for a real long time, Lorelai, and maybe that's not going to happen much longer. Okay. So if I have to make a change, how do I make that change without freaking out? How do I keep the panic down? Like right now is okay. And how do I find a way or find the help to get in a position that is a bit better? Like, I don't want to put all of my stuff back in storage again and either be homeless or staying in some place where I just can't have anything. I just don't think I can do that anymore. I really had hoped my next move would be to subsidize housing, That's just taking a really long time. I don't think my roommate's got the patience for that, and I totally understand. I also doubt he's going to look for a place we can both stay. And even if that were possible, I'd be like making a move probably to Southern California, which I'm not sure how happy I'd be down there. So it's difficult. It's all difficult. And yet it's great and shitty at the same time. And I'm just swimming, but I don't want to tread water anymore. I want things to get better. So during this time that I have here, my goals are really to do things that I want to do that I maybe can't do at home, and like lock in some peace and do some creative things. Actually, see if I can get myself to sit and write every day, and produce anything, or at least like get my reading done. I'm trying to do things like put on makeup, do my hair, so that I feel like myself. And in fact, this was the first day that I put on makeup, except for like, I think I did put a little bit of makeup on two other times during the shelter in place. And, so like that since the beginning of March, and we're almost through May. So, but I mean, I really dolled up today, and I took some selfies and I shared some selfies, and that felt good because it feels normal. It feels like me. And it's like I put on a cheap wig because I have quarantine hair, and I hate my hair anyway because I'm too poor to go to the salon. So that's another thing that like people are finding out what it's like to be me at. It's like you just kind of look raggedy. Um, so, I got my $5 wig on and I'm really happy. It doesn't look great, but I really like it. So I don't care. Yeah. So, I mean, it's always a mixed bag. I am observing that I am in a position where in the olden days, like even a couple of years ago, I would have been just completely hyperventilating, and I would not be able to enjoy this situation at all. I would be relieved that I had some income and I had this nice situation, but I would be panicked about the stuff I didn't finish at home. I'd be freaked out about my health. I'd be, I'd be more upset that I'm in pain. I would be more upset that I'm losing clients because of coronavirus. There would be a lot of things that would have been really different. I would have been very anxious. So far, so good. I mean, it's nice to go back and look at some of the videos when I first started doing a video diary and see how much faster I was talking or slurred I was. I mean, some of that's neurological stuff. How just fixated in things I was, and not being able to relax at all, and being, angry and frustrated and depressed and scared. And those things are a lot more manageable than even a few months ago right now. And maybe being tired is part of it, you know. Um, it's just an interesting thing to process and watch. I'd probably rather watch somebody else do it while I was totally healthy, but this is what I got. So I want to make the most out of whatever the hell time I have left. I don't want to get coronavirus. Um, I would like to have my skills and the things that I have learned help other people so they don't become like I was, or. And I want to be able to sit and enjoy the good things and sit in the gratitude more. So it's been a long video, but I needed to get it out. So there it is.